It's Stick and Move with Jared and Reggie, and today, on this next episode of Stick and Move, we have a boxing legend, a future Hall of Famer, and man, a champion, and a man that's never been short on words. Keith, one-time Thurman. How you doing, champ?
Doing good, man. Trying to talk to y'all and get my nutrition in at the same time. You feel me? Steak and eggs, people. Steak and eggs.
Awesome. You know, we just came back from doing the same thing that you did. We got a good workout in, et cetera. So, how are you feeling going into the fight, et cetera, and how has training camp been?
Feel good, man. It's always rewarding to be in shape,
Bet.
And, I know they talk about layoffs, and I know they like to talk about what age I'm at, man. But, hey, when Keith Thurman's in shape, boy, that's a problem. Anybody, everybody, so it just feels good, man. I'm just grateful, man. This is the life. This is the dream that I've been living my whole life, man. So anytime I get back in the ring under the bright light, to be back at the MGM Grand and going for another world title, I mean, it's just blessings on blessings.
So one time, like you mentioned before, everybody talks a little bit about rust and layoffs. I don't believe in that. I think that, a boxer is a boxer, and you've been doing this for quite some time now. So just tell us a little bit about camp and anything that you're doing differently to prepare for the next fight.
I always say you cannot outperform your preparation.
Write that down.
Write that down.
Outperform your preparation.
Now, there have been times we've seen fighters that were hot, and then they have a fight, and you're like, what just happened? What did they do? What's wrong? Were they injured? Was this? Was that? How come his performance was lacking? If a skillful fighter pops in the ring and his performance is lacking, then you best believe that the camp and the preparation was lacking the whole time, right? I mean, because you just can't outperform your preparation, man. So, one of the things that are different is, just not being so young. I'm not in the ring 3 times a week, right?
Okay.
I had an old regiment. We used to spar on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I said, you know what? Let me spar Tuesday, take down some notes, work hard within the week, and I'll spar again on Saturday, and I'll try to make my improvements from Tuesday's performance to Saturday's performance, and I give myself a little bit more rest, trying to take less punishment as we go into such a big event, So that's one of the major takeaways. This time I did not hire my strength and conditioning coach.
Okay.
I did a lot of things like solo with my own knowledge and focused on just the weight drop and basic boxing, more time on the heavy bag, just mitt work, heavy bag work, old school approach where originally I was always on. You go back to my old fights, you look at old Thurman camps, you'll see how I integrated strength and conditioning, mitt work, strength and conditioning. Or I would spar, can't hit strength before sparring, but I would spar, then do some strength work, hit my cardio at night, things of that nature. So there's just a few variables, and my mind's focused, and I think it's all going to pan out well. And let's see if I know something.
So let me take the gloves off. One time I thought, I think that this is you playing cat and mouse, because me and my brother, me and my brother thought that, we saw Fundora fight Lubin, we affectionately called him the face breaker. And we thought that this guy was the next, whatever the case may be. And then we saw the face breaker get stopped. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. We've seen him with Zoo, et cetera, et cetera. And then we see Zoo not be the fighter that we thought he was going to be, or the fighter his father was. Is this whole thing, a crafty veteran? I'm not gonna use the word old and all that old school OG crap that everybody uses. Is this a crafty veteran playing Python to a rabbit in the ring? Talk to me.
Hey man, look, Fundора's a bad man. He's had some great fights. But when you in the jungle,
okay,
when you in the jungle, and there's lions, there's tigers, there's bears. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Which one are you? You know what I'm saying? There's a gorilla, there's some monkeys, there's gorillas, and then there's a silverback. You feel me? And it's just real, like, the way I look at it in boxing history, man, it's like Keith Thurman wants to be the champion that beats champions.
Let's go.
I want to be the champion that beats champions, the champion that makes other champions look like how he become champion. And that's what I loved about watching Floyd sometimes. He just make certain champions look, man, you nowhere on the level of a real champion, the hold it down type of champion, and hey, I did my thing at 147. We here at 54 coming in hard to make a statement, man. I mean, the clock is ticking and the curtain, is gonna rise. It's gonna be showtime, and we're gonna put on performance, and then we're gonna have the aftermath. And your man, one time, I'm just trying to shake up the whole division and remind people who Keith Thurman is, what Keith Thurman does, and why y'all should respect the name and appreciate what I add to the game, and just have fun, baby. I mean, boxing has its ups and downs, but I'm back. We got something to talk about, people, I promise.
And 54 is now becoming the premier division with everybody moving up. There's Ortiz up there. There's Boots up there, et cetera, et cetera. There's I don't know if Xander Zayas is still 47 or be 54.
No, he's the unified champion. At 54.
Unified. So now with 54 being the old one, 147. How do you see the landscape of what's happening in re-injecting Keith Thurman's name into that division?
I mean, that's what this fight's all about, people.
Word.
That's what this fight is all about. You got the young lion versus the old lion. That's one part of this. That's one element to the fight that's about to manifest. And then, there's nothing like the Thurman test. You can get them all, line them all up, put them all through the Keith Thurman test, man. I'm telling you, there's just nothing like it. I'm going to prove that come March 28th. And then, we could talk more and name drop more names and say things to certain people, man. But, this is boxing, baby. There's a lot of people to fight. You can only do it one fight at a time. But my notorious line is, don't talk about it, be about it. Send the contract. Send it my way. I don't got a hard time reading nor writing my name on it, baby. So, it is what it is, man. I think there's great fights to make at 154. And so I'm just excited about this year, and I'm happy to be back at this level, this stage, and doing big things in the sport of boxing once again.
There's a lot of animals at 154. And what Keith is saying is, if he goes in the jungle with a bear, pray for the bear. So with that being said, one time, I want you to take us through the night, at the end of the night, and you're thinking about what's going to happen. Just take us through that night and what we as fight fans should expect.
Every day is a new day, right? Every day is a new day. You go outside. Is it warm? Is it chilly? Is it sunny? Is it rainy? We got to find out. We're going to see what the weather's like inside there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see what type of temperature he bring in. He's supposed to be the towering inferno, but it might not be hot right away. Oh. It might not. It might be. He might have the heat. He might be throwing heaters from Bell 1. Or he might be on a little slow cook. And it might get hotter and hotter and hotter. But I'm just going to go out there initially, man. I'm gonna test the weather, see what the temperature's like, and just play it cool, man. Boom, lean with it,
rock with it.
Play with my food a little bit. You see, I'm eating. You know, I gotta play with the food a little bit. You know what I'm saying? See, we fishermen. You see, you can take the bait. I'll take the bait. You know what I'm saying? And just see what kind of fight I'm in for, man. You know, I had a great camp. Love the work that I've been getting, and I'm just mentally, physically prepared. You know, I don't know what kind of Fundora I'm gonna see. Am I gonna see front foot Fundora or back foot keep away Fundora? You know.
Well, let me ask you,
He's been playing more keep away these days after he got chin checked. So yeah. I don't know.
Do you think that whole idea of like in your psyche of fighting certain fighters, right? Especially like the whole idea of the Mexican machismo, et cetera, and kind of saying, you know what? If he brings that Mexican machismo type of attitude, I'm going to use his ego against him in the sense of, you're a tall guy with a long reach. Why would you? What I keep asking, like, why is he fighting so close inside? Have you and your camp and your team gone over that particular strategy?
Yeah, my one guy, he's a lot bigger than me. He's actually a heavyweight. So I told myself, don't spar heavyweights, and then look what I ended up hiring. It just happened to be what it is. But it was really hard to push back. You know, I can get him to get back a few times now, but just initially, he knows he's a bigger man, so he put that press on me, bop, 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 keep trying to tease me with the jab and set up some shots and keep just staying on top of me, walking me down. So I got that look. And then my other guy's a 154-pounder who's 6'4", and he's able to back away, use his jab, use his 1-2, and be a little bit more smart about it. I think it's very hard. You know, you don't get to work with Sebastian Fundora before the fight, and Fundora doesn't get to work with Thurman before the fight, right? So the styles I'm in with are not Fundora, but they're giving me looks. They're giving me looks so that when I step in the ring, that look isn't so foreign. It will be brand new. It'll be Sebastian Fundora, and it will be something new, but it won't be 100% foreign, right? And that's the objection of getting good sparring partners. And we've been putting in the work, and I feel good. I feel groovy, and we'll see, man. I'm interested, man, because if he wants me to press, and he might want me to reach. He might want me to reach, you know. Maybe Fundora's trying to learn how to counter. We don't know. They keep saying he's only getting better. I don't know what kind of strategy they're bringing into the ring, but boxing has never changed. It's hit and don't get hit. End of story.
I saw also that you hung a punching bag high in your training. I don't know if that was just for, you know, optics in the behind the scenes or whatever, but when you swing up, it just feels like there's a certain percentage of your body that's susceptible to a punch. How are you going to reach up there and protect yourself at the same time? I'm just curious.
Yeah, you know, it's all about the positioning, right? So there are moments where the guy is, you know, you always see fighters doing this with each other, right? Hesitate. Why are fighters hesitating? You both fighters fight, right? Fight.
That's right.
Because we can see that he's actually loaded. He's actually ready. He's in a good position. And if I get past a certain line, bing, he's ready to check me, right? And that's what makes fighters hesitate. And it's a focus game, right? It's like don't blink, don't blink, you know? It's a focus game. And the moment one person loses focus for just a little second, there shifts a small advantage. In that advantage, somebody moves in with their speed, pop, pop, and they fire, they tee off. you know. But before they get that green light, you know, seeing each other, coming in, you know, herky-jerky movement. All that herky-jerky movement is to throw off timings. Once I can throw off a timing, I can step in, boom, boom. And even if it's a little loaded, even if it's a little slow, if you're not ready, then you are subject to being on defense and not offense. There's only two. The light switch only goes on and off, people. On and off. You know what I'm saying? Counterpunching is a smooth transition. See, it's just a smooth transition from defense to offense. It's a smooth transition. But ultimately, you can only do one of two. You can't do both, you know? So it's all about that. And then, you know, the problem is, let's say I get in, boom, boom, boom. Now it's time for me to get out. This is going to be a challenge in the fight. When Thurman is getting out, when Thurman's backing away, there's going to be a distance that I've never faced where this man can still hit me, right? I might, like, you know, I go boom, boom, boom. And then as I back away, I can no longer hit him, but I will be in a distance where he can still hit me. That's a challenging part. So I don't see the biggest challenge of what's going to happen as you come in with this shot or that shot. You know, of course, there's reaching for the head. The body's closer. You know, I might not have to go for the head all the time. I can try to dig at the body as well, right? So I'm gonna have to take what's given to me, and I'm gonna be looking for both shots. But for me, it's that escape and escaping out without getting bop bop.
Just hearing you speak about the fight, this just seems like a Rubik's Cube that you're just, you know, dying to crack the code. Can you talk a little bit about just cracking the code? And I also want to know, are you tired of people talking about his size advantage and his advantages just physically whenever anyone with eyes can see that your athleticism and your speed and your power is going to come into play?
It's fine. He's a big boy. What you going to do? I mean, you can find an old video. I don't even know what it was like years ago when I first met Fundora. I said, what the heck this boy doing at 154? I said, somebody need to feed him some pizza, some more steak. And what's that boy doing at 154? He a monster. He a monster. All right? It's like you put somebody on stilts, okay? I mean, even at 147, I mean, what you call it? Like Paul Williams wasn't like this, bro. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? But anytime you got somebody like a Paul Williams, Hearns, you know, you got people that are long and tall in a division where it's not so common, right? I mean, I think the stats say Fundora is the tallest champion in the world right now. You guys understand that?
Yeah.
I mean, we had Deontay Wilder. We had Tyson Fury. They're not the champions right now. The heavyweight champion of the world is shorter than Sebastian Fundora.
Yeah.
I mean, so people are going to talk about it, man. I mean, he's just a freak of nature.
Just want to say this, man. Thank you so much for some of your time. And I want to wrap up our interview by saying this, and I mean this wholeheartedly. As a media personality, I really, you know, I'm excited about, you know, after boxing, because I think that you're probably one of the most loquacious fighters since Muhammad Ali. And second, I want to say thank you as it pertains to, you know, always holding the sport. You know, you make your trainer been proud, because you've always held the sport up high. You know, we don't see you getting into crazy stuff. You've always, you know, kept the main thing and held yourself with class. So I think on the behalf of my brother and I would say thank you for your contributions to the sport. You know what I'm saying? And we wish you the best on March 28th.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man. We all here for one reason only, man. That's because we love boxing.
Okay, I thought you better say to get some money.
See? People always think it's about money, but I tell them, man, it's love, man. It's love. You can't do this without love. And if you do it without love, when you do it for only the money, eventually it's not gonna ever feel the same. The reason why I can do what I do, talk the way that I talk, want to get back in the ring at this stage and this age and all that stuff, it's a love for a sport, man. And yeah, if I don't love boxing, then you ain't gonna see this face no more.
And we want to post, Keith. We want to post to talk about all of the future stuff after we claiming this victory on the 28th. Cool?
All good. I'm here, baby.
Yes, sir.
One time.
One time for the one time. Thank you so much, sir.